Hello, everybody. Welcome to the TechHub.training interview skills solution challenge. And so let's just get started real quick here. So we'll just open up this employees and expenses sheet. Oh, that's just yeah. And so we'll just start off with the employees, and I'll just keep going down the list of instructions here that we have. So the first thing is we're gonna want to move the employee sheet into the expense sheet. And so if you go into your employee sheet right here, you can right click on the name of the sheet and then go to move a copy, and then right here to book, and then you'll want to move it to the expenses one. Click OK, and then it'll move it right here. And then you can rename it employees if you want for reference. And so I'll just go up over to the expense sheet. And if you know, you'll notice right away that the category and description columns have a bit of an issue with the capitalization and the extra spaces. And so to fix that with the categories, you'll just do a proper function. And so you just hit equals proper and then do all of the category right there. And it'll fix it for you. And then for description, we'll do a trim function, and that'll get rid of all the spaces for that. And so then we're going to want to add the employee ID and employee name columns between these two, right? Between the date and category right here. And so to add columns, if you don't know, just right click right here in between these. Oh, sorry, I meant the B. You're going to want to right click in front on the B column, and there you go. And then we'll hit it twice. Oh, there it is. For two of those. And then we'll just name it employee ID and oh, employee name. Just fix that. Okay. And then we're gonna want to randomly assign. And so I'll just to make this easier for the video, I'll just go to my solution right here. I'll show you. And so for that, you're gonna wanna, where is it over here? So instead of writing it over here on the right side where I have it, you're gonna wanna write it over here. And you'll just write this function right here. This is how I did it, of course. There's probably another way, but this is just how I did it. And so you just want to write equals if, and then or, since we have three options, we're gonna run because we're gonna doing expenses based off the office support or supplies, I mean, meals and travel, and so we're gonna want or on those. And so D2, which is the categories, equals meals, or D2 equals travel, and then office support. You're gonna want to put those in quotes since they're text. And then if it's true, you're gonna randomize a number between 1 and 10, since this is a randomized um this is like a data sheet that you're making pretty much. And we'll do that 1 through 10 since we have 10 employees over here. And then if not true, we'll just leave it blank so that it doesn't have a whole bunch of NAs, just to make it look nicer, you know? And then we're gonna want to just fill in the employee name column, and so I have it over here. This is the formula, and the reason why I have the formula not, and the reason why I have it without the formula over here is because if you, every time you move something around, it'll just keep randomizing and it just gets annoying. And so to keep it constant and not having it change on you every second, you're just gonna wanna get this right here, this little paintbrush, and then paste special, and then you're gonna wanna do values, and then just click anywhere, and then it'll do it for you. Of course, have the whole thing selected though, the column. And so for the employee name, you're gonna want to do an X lookup and it's all based on the employee ID. So that's why we have B2 to B2 as 247. And then we're gonna want to go to reference. We're gonna want to base it off this column right here, this employee ID. So we're gonna go to employees. A2 to A11, and then employees again, and then this will be our output right here. And then of course if it's blank, then yeah, we'll just put the quote marks right there, leave it blank. And then we're gonna just go and calculate the number of January expenses. And so to do that, what I did is go over here. Since we can add on to it, we can just, like I said in the challenge, we can just add on to the worksheet and just delete it later. And so I wrote a text formula over here, equals text, and then based off the date column right here. And if we do 4M's in quotes, it'll give you the month. It'll write out the whole month for you, which is nice. And so to count the numbers on that, we do a COUNTIF statement over here based on this column or wherever you put it. So this can change, this M can change. So 2 to 247, and then in quotes, of course, since it's text, we're gonna put January, and then it should give you 40 for that. Then if we do January expenses, the amount, we'll do the same. We can use this column right here, and then SUMIF, the column, and then the text again, January, and then the sum column we're gonna wanna do is this, of course. This is what we're summing up right here. And they'll give you 18,830. And then for meals, it's another SUMIF, but this time we don't need one of these columns over here. We can just base it off of the meals category over here. So we'll write meals in quotes mark right here, the criteria is meals, and then sum range will be the E column, and that'll give you the $6,175. And then what's next? And we're over here, these two. And so we're gonna wanna add up the total employee expenses based off of employee name. So you're gonna wanna use employee name. And so to do that, we can just do a SUMIF based on the employee name column over here. So it's C2 to 247. And the criteria will be, to make it the easiest, it'll be based off the blanks. I mean, sorry, if, wait, what is this? Yeah, yeah. If not, that means if not blank, sorry. If not blank. So these little arrow marks mean, yeah, if it's not blank. And so it'll just skip every blank cell. And it'll give you 34,335. And then over here we'll do it based off category. And so you're pretty much gonna do a little array over here. That's why these are in this little mark right here, and the little bracket thing. And so you're gonna want to write office up, meals, and travel in quotes, and put it all in an sum statement with the SUMIF over here. So we're gonna do. This is what it looks like. It's all just one big SUMIF in the sum. And so you just select the category and then the array, and then sum the amounts. That's right here. And it'll give you the same number, since it's the same thing, but just calculating it a different way. And then we're gonna want then pivot table, this right here. So to do that, you can just go to insert right here. Then we can select these two columns. Oh, these two columns right here. Okay. And then pivot table. And then yeah, it'll have those selected. And then you can just click wherever you want to put it. Location, existing worksheet. Click right here or something. And then you click OK and it'll make it for you. It'll come up like this. I think these will be different. You can just rename them if you want. And we're gonna wanna, actually, sorry, you're gonna wanna add employee names to that and the date, the date column. And so, and then that'll give you the options to put these slicers in here. So then to put the slicers, you can click on this, and then you can just go to pivot table analyze. You can insert a slicer, and then it'll give you these options. And if you click date first, it'll give you all these dates over here in this column. But then to change it into month, it'll pop up with months again now as an option. And then so you just click months, and then it'll give you that option now. Or I think you have to do it actually on this pivot table right here first. So then select that, and it'll give you months. And then you can do that for employee name and months from the slicer. And then now we're gonna want to go to the employee sheet, and you're just gonna assign a, you're gonna calculate the expenses, I mean, sorry. You're gonna calculate the expenses for each employee. And so it'll be another sum if, and then you're gonna wanna go back to the expenses worksheet, or sheet, and base it off the name. And then if it's employee ID number one, I mean, this is the employee ID column, sorry. So number one says it's number one, and then go back to expenses again, and then the amount, and then that'll give you the thing. And then we'll of course somehow just make a budget over here, just assign a random one, and make sure that at least one of them is negative over here in the difference. So we're just gonna subtract these two. And now we're ready to import it to Power BI. So you'll just save everything, make sure you save everything, and then open up Power BI and then export it to there. It'll give you the option. And so this is what I did for mine. Yours doesn't have to look the exact same as mine, but we do want some things that correspond to the instructions. And so we're gonna want to show the expenses for each month and highlight the expenses over 15,000, and have a way to see the category and employee expenses based off of it. So that's why I have this slicer over here. And the slicer is this right here. So input the slicer, and then put in the field category in the expenses. And then for this, I just chose to do a graph. You don't have to. Let me unselect that. And then on the x-axis you'll put, if you're doing a graph, you're to the date, and then they'll give you all these like year, month, day, etc. And then you just want a month one, so you just exit on those ones. And the y-axis will be the expenses, of course, the numbers. And you can you can customize it however you want. Just try to make it look professional, I guess. That's the aim for this. And to highlight, you're gonna want to go to this right here, format your visual columns, this FX, which is conditional formatting. And if we're gonna want to do it based off expenses that are over 15,000, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it, if this is not selected already, sum of the amount. Just click right here. And then if the value is greater than 15,000 and less than, let's say just 100, just put a ridiculously high number right there, and then you'll select it, like, just make them a different color. Just not same as these ones right here, which is everything else. Click OK. And then, oh yeah, this is the table based off of the employees. You just put employee name and some amount. Or you can rename that to expenses. Sorry, I should probably just do that right now. Expenses, just to make it look nicer. There we go. Shorten that. Make that longer. Okay. And so when I click one of these employee names, it'll show me how much expenses they did every month, which is really nice. You can just track when each employee did it, basically. And then we'll do a multi-row card as explaining the instructions with the employee name, budget, and expenses. Well, this is amount. Sorry. Oh no, actually it is expensive because we have it on a different sheet. Yeah. You're gonna want to do it on the same sheet unless you make a connection, which I didn't. But you totally can if you want. And so I formatted, the way to format that is just the same except for callout values. Additional formatting. Then this is the rules. You know, if it's greater than 0 but less than just a really high number, then we'll do it blue since for the positives. And the negative numbers, you'll want to do it if the value is less than a negative whatever, a really high value, and less than 0. And so when we go over here to this table that I made, based on the employee name, budget, and expenses, and if we click on the negative one, it'll give us negative 155 in red. And yeah, that's basically everything. Hope you enjoyed this challenge, and thanks for watching, guys. See you later.